Welcome to this week's update and the news in the studio of the FPI. So let's dive straight into the news. So what can I tell you? So if we look at Money Smart Week South Africa 2023, the launch took place on Friday the 4th of August. So National Treasury and the Financial Sector Conduct Authority and the National Consumer Financial Education Committee, short for NCFEC, that's who they are, NCFEC, had the launch of Money Smart Week South Africa 2023 under the theme of Plan Your Money, Plant Your Future. I think that's quite a nice theme with a repeat again. It's Plan Your Money, Plant Your Future. So Money Smart Week this year will take place from the 28th of August to the 3rd of September, and anybody can take part of it. Financial institutions, educational companies, anybody can take part in Money Smart Week this year. If you want to know more about it, you're welcome to contact Rihanna Badenhorst at the FPI. So if we look at the participation in Money Smart Week 2023, I mentioned it's open to everybody, and it's one of the single biggest financial literacy campaigns in South Africa. The Acting Tax and Financial Sector Policy Division Deputy Director General, Ms. Makgotsi Lekete, opened up the launch for us. And if you've missed the launch of Money Smart Week, you are welcome to go to their website, which is www.mswsa.co.za. You will also find it on all the social media platforms that is linked to Money Smart Week. Then I want to turn to the FAIS Ombudsman's office. So you would have seen most probably that MoneyWeb and FA News reported that the FAIS Ombudsman, Advocate John Simpson, is in the process of closing over almost 1,000 property syndications. Now, some of these complaints were received at the Ombuds office as far back as 2010, and those complaints are around complainants whose income has stopped from the property syndications. And some of the syndications is known as ShareMax, the old PIC, Blue Zone. You would be very familiar with those property syndications. Now, let's understand what is the main reason why Advocate John Simpson is closing these cases. Well, he is of the view that it's more appropriate for a court of law to deal with these matters. Now, we have seen over the past few years that various ombudsmen, from Nuland to Bum to Naresh Talshi, they've tried to determine the property syndications, just for respondents to actually take the matters either to a court of law or to take it to the Financial Services Tribunal, where the tribunal has set aside most of the determinations and referring the cases back to the Ombudsman for reconsideration. So let's understand why most of the property syndication determinations was referred back to the Ombudsman for reconsideration. So the main reasons why the Financial Sector Tribunal set aside original determinations includes material disputes of facts. In other words, he said, she said, and nobody can really, get behind the real truth. And then in most cases, why the determinations is sent back, it's over the basis for legal causation. So let's understand first and foremost what is causation. Now, causation is simply the cause of causing something. So the question is it due to only the actions of the financial advisors that the complainants lost their money? And to answer that question, we have to understand what the tribunals actually what they are referring to. So the tribunal specifically refers to a legal causation, something that the FAIS Ombudsman's office has apparently not looked at when these cases were determined. Now, legal causation and factual causations are the two distinct elements that together forms the principle of causation, which is the fundamental concept in law that establishes a causal link between the defendant's actions and the omissions and the harm or the damage caused to the victim. So it is the factual and the legal causation that comes together, which is the principle. So if we then summarize, the factual causation is concerned with establishing a causal link between the defendant's action and the harm or damage suffered by the victim, whilst on the other hand, the legal causation is concerned with establishing whether the defendant's actions were sufficiently culpable and foreseeable to make him or her legally responsible for the harm or damage suffered by the victim. So overall, both legal and factual causation are essential components of the principle of causation, and they must be established, both of them, in order to hold the defendant liable for the harm and damage suffered by the victim. So this is the main reason why the tribunal is sending cases back, because that legal causation has not really been looked at. Then to what is going on in the FPI's office. So at this point in time, you would have received the FPI's August newsletter, which was released on the 7th of August. So please look at our newsletter for all the updates, but a very important one for us is the upcoming Retirement and Investment online workshop, which takes place on the 30th of August. Please register today. It would be from 10 to 9 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you will earn up to 6 CPD verifiable technical FAIS CPD hours. That's a mouthful. And we will be covering topics like crypto investments, all the way to the two-part system, looking at different ways to work with annuities, and brilliant speakers from Paul Nixon all the way through to Tiaan Hershelman, and few speakers. Have a look at the events on our website. 30th of August, please register. And with that, thank you very much to listening to the weekly update, and then happy Women's Day and happy Women's Month to everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.